friends, welcome to another monthly favors, and today we're covering November, which has been one of my best makeup months thus far, and probably because I love my Sephora sale event purchases. I had a little mini luxury haul, and of course the items I purchased from Liberty London because Suqqu was running a promotion, or rather Liberty London was running a Suqqu promotion, and man oh man do I have a bunch of favorites to cover. But before we get into the makeup, the brushes, and a lot more other items, there are timestamps down below if you wanted to head over to that section, because I wanted to give you a hair update as well as a deodorant update. I forgot which video it was. Maybe it was my Sephora recommendations video where I mentioned Salt and Stone, and also I think mentioned them again in my haul video. I can't quite recall. I wanted to say that I ended up returning the Salt and Stone deodorant, and it's because when I used it for a few weeks, I observed what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and when I went back to using my Thai Crystal Deodorant Mist, which is what I've been using for a few months, tried the roll-on, went back to the mist, and my conclusions from that back and forth, trying both products extensively, all three extensively, is that the Thai deodorant, the Crystal Deodorant Mist, is by far my best match when it comes to combating armpit odor. The thing with Salt and Stone was because it was not an antiperspirant, it was a deodorant, the contents of that formula, unfortunately, you would have to wash off, right? And sometimes I didn't want to hop in the shower just to wash my armpits. If I'm wearing the Crystal Deodorant Mist, I could just rinse my pits in the sink. And I know that might sound like, really, Alicia, do you not take a shower? I absolutely do. But there were days where I didn't feel it warranted me wetting my entire body just so I could wash off the deodorant. And I also arrived to the conclusion that I rather just smell bad by myself and not smell bad with the presence of another scent. So that's not to say that the Salt and Stone smells just incredible, but I started to wear Byredo fragrance, and I found that the Salt and Stone deodorant fragrance was colliding with the Byredo, and I didn't like what that did. And I decided, okay, if I needed to choose one thing, I'd rather stick to the perfume, which I have said before I am sensitive to, but Byredo fragrances I've been experimenting with. I recently purchased their little trio set that you can see in my luxury haul video. I have a few samples from when I visited their store a few weeks ago, and I've been loving the fragrance experience from the brand, and I figured I would get rid of the deodorant because it just is easier for me to deal with the salt spray. It is, I could spray it on my armpits as many times as I like throughout the day. And if I don't feel like taking a shower, like on days where I don't train, I took a rest day or I just stretched a little bit, did some handstands, I didn't sweat so much that it will warrant a shower, that I could just rinse my pits and that is it. But with the Salt and Stone, I found that I needed to break it down first and use like a makeup balm product and then use the soap afterwards. And I just didn't want to go through that. On rest days, I would wear it. And at the end of the day, I just felt like I didn't want that residue on my pits. That's what ultimately led me to the decision where, okay, I tried both. And I know one of you had mentioned Lume. I'm just sticking to the Thai stuff. I am. I think it's easier for me. Again, I rather just smell bad than just smell bad with something else on my armpits. And again, I think I have experienced all products at length and enough for me to feel comfortable with this decision. I might change my mind down the road. Who knows? Maybe another brand will develop a deodorant that's comfortable to wear, that combats odor successfully. But to me, you know, I rather just spritz the perfume, to be honest, and just have my armpits smell as they smell, because they do take on a stronger odor depending on my cycle during different stages of it. And I'm fine with my underarms not smelling like anything, having just a neutral scent when I spritz the Thai Crystal Deodorant Mist. I'm fine with that. So that is the update on the pits, and I'm sorry if I led some of you astray if you were on the search for a good aluminum-free deodorant. I was excited about it at first, and I still think it a good product, but for me and my lifestyle and how I like to run it, it didn't align as much as I would have liked. Now for the hair, I finished an entire bottle of the Royal Oils line from Head & Shoulders, the sulfate-free Sculpt Care shampoo with coconut oil and apple cider vinegar. I think one of the things with scalp care is the consistency of it, and I believe my success with Royal Oils stemmed from the fact that I use this product diligently week after week for the last few months. I think I bought this first in the summertime, early summertime, and every week I wash twice with this, and then the third time I'll use like a black base soap shampoo or something of that nature for the third wash. And I discovered that my scalp itchiness decreased significantly after months of using the Royal Oils. But again, after using it week after week consistently, I think is what yields the best results. I understand how someone might want, if they were combating scalp itchiness and irritation, to immediately have relief after using a shampoo just from one use. And sure, that might happen, but I think the magic happens when you use a shampoo like this. It could be any type of scalp treatment shampoo, is to use it week after week after week, because it contains 1% pyrithione zinc, which I think is the combatant for dandruff and such. And I found significantly less flaking here on the sides of my face, near the tails here and on the front. And I think it's because I stuck to this routine diligently week after week. I washed my hair, I retwisted it, and that's what led to my scalp just feeling healthier and not as itchy. I still experience a little bit of itchiness here. I don't apply Vaseline all the time. I'll apply some when I'm styling my twists, right from after showering and washing my hair, but I just kind of let it ride and wash my hair if I need to earlier, a day earlier than a week. Or the day is, listen, Monday morning is wash day and twist day for me. And that's what I stuck with for the last year. Ever since I got my curly cut from Rizzo Curls, I made sure to stick to this protective style for as long as I have. I am planning to schedule another curly cut with Rizzo Salon. I understand that curly cuts are not necessarily great for trimming ends, but I think I need a little bit of a reshape because I took it upon myself to trim my ends on my own. And is a little, something's happening here on the middle of my head with the hair length. I think is a touch off, so I just need a professional to see what's happening. And I think that's reasonable that I get a curly cut once a year, right? The December curly cut, I feel not going to be detrimental to my bank account because I don't spend money on my hair throughout the year exorbitantly. I bought the Mousse Def maybe 3 times out of the year, the pattern mousse in the Palo Santo scent, I think during the April Sephora sales event. And before that, I used the pattern mousse I already owned. I did end up buying the Shea Moisture as the hibiscus and coconut. That was the worst one out of the 3. It's not a bad product, but it was the worst out of the 3 for me because it didn't have enough hold. When I did my twists, they were so soft and just got frizzy after 2 days because that mousse didn't have enough hold, whereas the Mousse Def has shine and hold, as well as its detangling properties just made it god tier mousse for my styling. So with that said, I highly recommend the Royal Oils, but I would say you got to use this diligently week after week, whatever your wash schedule is, to see and experience the results. It's not an overnight thing like nail health too, making sure that I stick with, which I haven't been, that's entirely my fault, my warm oil soaks, which I think have been pivotal in maintaining my nail health. I haven't been consistent with it, but I do think, like the shampoo, something you have to stick with week after week, day after day. And after months, you will see, okay, this condition, whatever it may be, itchy, flaky scalp, dry, brittle nails, is starting to improve. So I definitely will buy another bottle of this. I put water in it so I could get the last bit out of shampoo before I commit to another bottle. But happy to share those armpit and hair updates. Now it's time to get into a little bit of skincare. I still have to film my skin sobering video, but for context, briefly, I decided to drop my skincare routine. I think it was sometime last year or the year before, I cannot quite recall. And what I mean is not use a dedicated makeup cleanser, balm, a cleanser, toner, serum, essence. I used to use tretinoin, so any kind of active, if you will, vitamin C, moisturizer. I still use sunscreen. I still have my sun hat. So I decided to drop all of that. And the genesis was me seeking a remedy to relieve my eczema at the time. I was battling eczema and found that not using anything and just rinsing with water, using a lye-based soap and Vaseline was the solution for my condition. I'm not saying that's going to work for everyone. I'm not telling you you should do the same. This is just based on my own experience and how my eczema disappeared virtually after dropping the body lotions, the body oils, the balms. I think not having a dedicated 10-step skincare has been just instrumental in my skin success. Now, I do have blemishes here. That's just because I love to pick and I can't leave my skin alone. But right now, my favorite cleanser on days where I do have to remove my makeup has been the CeraVe. This is a newer version because CeraVe is known for their foaming cleanser, their creamy cleanser. This is a hydrating cream to foam cleanser for normal to dry skin. It cleanses, hydrates, and removes makeup without disrupting the protective skin barrier. So this has more of a makeup removing property as opposed to the regular foam cleanser and cream cleanser. And I quite like this formula. I bring it around my eyes. It doesn't sting. The foaming is quite soft and creamy on the skin. It rinses well on my skin. It feels soft. And what I do is follow up with some green tea water and I'll put Vaseline on the drier parts of my skin. And that's basically my routine, especially on days when filming, wearing makeup, or maybe I'll just throw on a powder blush here and there and I'll use a CeraVe to remove that. Other cleansers that I have used that I think I would rank second and third. Second is the Soon-Jung, the 5.5 Etude Foam Cleanser. I think this is best for light makeup days or if you just need a night cleanser. Gentle on the skin, no fragrance like the CeraVe, also gentle around the eyes. My third is the La Roche-Posay Toleriane, the Purifying Foaming Cream. This unfortunately felt a little too stripping for me. When I rinsed this off, my skin felt super dry. It didn't feel like it does rather when I rinse off the CeraVe. So I haven't been using this, but I should definitely finish it. So maybe I'll use it from my armpits, you know, just to get rid of it. And the Soon-Jung I would still use. I think the CeraVe is better at cleansing off remnants of makeup after I've used the CeraVe makeup wipes, or I'll use Vaseline or jojoba oil to remove the majority of my makeup, and then I'll follow with the CeraVe. Maybe after I finish the CeraVe, I'll go into the Soon-Jung and just use a little bit more. But that has been the update for my skincare. And for makeup prep, I'll just use the moisturizing cream, and that has been it. I don't necessarily apply the moisturizing cream at night or in the morning. I just kind of slap on my Vaseline where I need it, and that has been working for me. And maybe I'll revisit applying a dedicated moisturizer down the road again. I'm not entirely sure. But I think the main takeaway for me in relying on skin sobering is less is best when it comes to your skin. It is an organ. It is designed to do bad all by itself. And I understand that certain environments in terms of climate and weather conditions definitely can impact your skin's health. I'm lucky that where I live is mostly okay and I could just rely on the products that I've been using. Sure, if you live in a dry area, humidifiers will help. Humidifiers I think are great just to keep those moisture levels up. But that is it. And I know I spent like almost, my gosh, 15 minutes on hair, skin, and in armpits. But now let's get into the makeup. I won't spend too much time on each because I gushed over these products in previous either get ready with me's or haul videos, but I'll start with complexion. And I have been combining the LYS Skin Tint, which I bought from the Sephora sale, with the Danessa Serum Skin Tint that I was gifted from Beautylish when promoting their gift card event. LYS on the center, the Danessa on the perimeters. I quite enjoy the texture these two products deliver. As for the LYS stick, I just enjoy its ease of use. The fact that I can use my fingers to blend it, a brush to blend it. The consistency is lightweight enough where you don't need to over blend the product. I think it melts well into the skin, and the finish that's left behind is more of a natural one, and it's a tint product still. Is not going to completely cover imperfections, but I do think it does a stellar job in evening out skin tone, lessening the look of redness, of imperfections and whatnot. It has more of a blurring effect, if you will, on those conditions. And I've been using that cocktail nonstop alongside the Danessa Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer in number 9 under my eyes. Sometimes I'll just dab on the LYS Skin Tint because I have the shade TN3 and it is just light enough where I can get away with that shade for under the eyes, where it doesn't look too drab, but it does offer a touch of brightening. Now for the cheeks. Oh my goodness. Well, I have to start with this product that I didn't get from the Sephora sale, but it is the Simihaze Beauty Skin Suede Melting Bronze Balm in the shade Oak, number 3, I believe. Yes. Unfortunately, this is still out of stock on Sephora.com, but I thought this was the perfect sculpting shade for my complexion. It can be used as a bronzer. It is marketed to be a bronzer, melting bronzing balm. Number 4 might be more of a dedicated bronzer shade for my complexion because it looks red tone on the product page. Oak has more of a neutral undertone to it, but it's not so cool tone that it'll look dull here on the hollows of the cheeks. It offers the right amount of sculpt, and out of my entire collection, one of the best sculpting shades I have now. And I just think the texture is phenomenal. It's a cream, but it's not super tight and it doesn't move my foundation. It blends effortlessly and it works well with other cheek products. One of them being, as you probably already know, the Auric Mirage Shift palette. This cheek palette, I have a dedicated video reviewing the palette. Is more of a first impressions, but I have been using it ever since. The bronze color compared to the Simihaze definitely is more of a dedicated bronze shade for my complexion. You see how warm it is, but what I did today is pulled in the Simihaze here into the hollows and then draped the Auric bronzer all over just to bring everything together. And the cream products from the Auric palette are phenomenal. They're easy to work with. They are silky soft on the skin and blend like a dream. I actually brought this along a few weeks to go to Bay's house. I didn't bring any brushes on purpose because I'm like, if I wanted to strip this down as much as I could and just use my fingers, the way the Mirage Shift formula blends with fingers is phenomenal. It's smooth. It doesn't look patchy or uneven. It just melts into the skin. And if you follow with the blush color, my goodness, I have sand blush on under a Suqqu blush, but we'll get to that color in a minute. Sand blush is definitely more of a coral hue on my complexion. And then you have the cream highlighter, which is just phenomenal. My apologies for showing these swatches again. I think this definitely is one of the best face palette releases this year. Auric definitely nailed it with this product, and I can't wait to see more. Samantha had mentioned, because this palette is magnetic, and you will see in the original video that you can take not only the pans out but the frame. That means she will sell, or the brand will sell, singles that we can mix and match with, so that will be exciting to see. Quickly, also the Myricks Skin Tint Blush in Fox. I think this is a phenomenal color, just effortless to put on, and you can see how it's more of a watercolor, or has more of a watercolor effect on the skin. It reminds me of Mother's skin blush bombs in a stick. And I also picked up the Hourglass Unreal liquid blush in Moment, more of a peachy hue. I think it was Vision, the more rose color, which is beautiful. The Byredo highlighter stick. This shade is like between Mother's Golden and Nude. So I brought these out so you can see a quick highlighter shade comparison. But the Byredo texture is just heavenly. It's super smooth and has a beautiful glow effect on the skin, and it melts into the cheekbones. I actually have this on with Suqqu's Sakura Quart. I'll get there in a minute. It was sent to me by the team. I'll give you details soon. And with Mother's dual-ended sticks, here I have golden, right? So you can see that's a lot more yellow. So I feel the Byredo stick is between golden and nude, right? But you just see how like the Byredo is giving a little more glaze, whereas Pat's dual-ended stick is more of like a shimmer effect. And I understand the dual-ended sticks are older for sure. The shelf life might have an impact on the stick's texture. I get that completely, but my gosh. But I was just blown away by the Byredo, how silky it is, how easy it is to tap on your cheekbones with fingers. You could definitely use a brush, but I wouldn't. I mean, there's no need to. I like it better than the Addiction Tokyo stick, and I like it better than the Suqqu highlighter stick. I actually like it better. Well, the Westman Atelier stick has a little more gloss to it, just a touch of gloss to it. The Byredo is like an in-between there. I guess I'm just gonna have to film an entire video dedicated to my highlighter sticks. Coming soon. Do we get all cheek products? I most certainly hope so. If I'm forgetting anything, I'll mention it down in the comments, but I wanted to move on to eyes. If you're wondering what I have on, yes, I did buy more YSL Mini Clutch eyeshadow quads. When one of you had mentioned they're running 30% off site-wide, I have Over Brun on, number 710, and it's just definitely one of my favorites. If you want to know what I got, I bought 3. It was Gwelly's Dream. I almost wanted Kibosh Spices, but Kibosh Spices I felt resembled I Need a Warm, so I was like, stop it. I did Over Orange, because that brighter orange vibrant shade, I thought, okay, that could be something. And the blue one, I was interested in the fact that they included a seafoam mint type of a gig with like the cobalt leading blues. I thought that was an interesting combination. Originally I had like 6 quads in the basket, but I shaved it down because I thought, listen, I already have Stora Dolls, Babylon Roses. How could I forget? That was the first YSL quad that I purchased and was the impetus for now all these quads that I will own. It's extraordinary. The YSL eyeshadow mini clutch formula is unbelievable. I didn't know what to expect. It was an incredible experience. The shadows, all from the mattes, the satin, and the shimmers in there, just out of this world. And I guess I feel this way is because it was a luxury brand and I didn't know what to expect, but man, did the mini clutch eyeshadow quads deliver. So after that, I purchased Stora Dolls in the limited edition holiday packaging, Over Brun, both from Nordstrom, and then from the YSL sale, those 3. So I'm excited for those to join the collection, and you will know first I will be on here again doing all the swatches and all the eye looks. The Kulfi Zari eyeshadows, I have Bronze Brocade on with Over Brun. I think is a phenomenal combination, but this eyeshadow all by itself is just insane. Look at the color, the feel. This is the type of shadow you could slap on solo and go. Whether you want to apply lashes, you want to apply mascara, the shine, the color richness, it's incredible, and it stays. I think it has pretty good staying power. That was Bronze Brocade. Satara Sparkles. Satara Sparkles was the first one I purchased from the Sephora sale, alongside Babylon Roses. I have a bunch of shorts showing both of them in action, so that means we gotta move on to the Patrick Ta duos, the controversial Patrick Ta duos. I didn't buy another. I think it was in the club, something like that, on my radar, but I decided to pass. I find that this is enough for me. It's just enough to bring even more sparkle and shine to the mix. Now, I understand these are rather expensive right? That's why I wanted to get them on with the discount. I think the high price tag is due to the amount of pearl in here, I was told. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is, yes, I think it worth it if you can get some sort of discount off of it. And if you're not buying all 5 or all 6, that you can zero in on one and use it to your advantage. This I can slap on solo or tap on anything I want a little more sparkling shine, and easy to achieve. Look at that. It just melts onto whatever you decide to apply it, and it just bumps up the shine and reflectivity like crazy, especially if you shine it under a hard light. You can see that dazzle effect in action, and it is beautiful. And a huge shout out to Sophia Sees Beauty. I was on her live a few weeks ago talking about budgeting, and boy oh boy do I remember our talk when trying to navigate all these Black Friday sales. But she released her Isam collab, the Goddess Glam set. My gosh, I can't handle these products. If you want to see these in action, I have a short up on my channel, and she actually custom made this Kit Cosmetics liquid eyeshadow, more so just liquid pigment. You can mix it with whatever you want. I like to apply this on my eyes, and it sets quickly, and it's a great base to increase the longevity of whichever shadow formula you choose to apply on top, be it another cream, another powder, what have you. It's a beautiful antique gold shade, and Sophia had wanted to choose or concoct a shade that is holiday appropriate. This definitely stays in the neutral category of things. So I think Sophia chose a fantastic color for the season, and one that can be used beyond the season. Included are 2 brushes, one of their newer versions in their eyeshadow category, and a liner, which I love for the more graphic wing liners, especially if you're using a liquid product like the Kit Cosmetics one, and the Isam mascara, which I have gushed over, and Isam was nice to send me this mascara a year or 2 ago when they reformulated it. Super black, great pigment, nice curl and length. I like to apply this on top of my Clio Professional. Ooh, this was my combination. Okay, I have falsies on, but using this with the Clio Professional, where's my Clio Professional? This is the duo of life right here. If I wasn't wearing any lashes, I would apply the Clio Professional first, and then the Easton on top. Watch the mascara out. I have to go back to cheeks. My apologies. I forgot to mention that I think at this time you have already seen my Liberty London Suqqu haul video where I was just gushing over Akanozomi, this red tone blush. I was wearing the heck out of Akanozomi over the weekend. I brushed it through the hollows, and then followed with Toru, which is Harui on Selfridges. It's 104. I did the deep coral on the cheeks and the red on the cheekbones, and whoo-wee. And I just did a little bit of the LYS Skin Tint. What a match made in heaven. These blush shades killed me. And what I mentioned before with Sakura Quart. So I reached out to Suqqu Europe. I'm like, hey, do you happen to have not only Sakura Quartz around in the office, but also 102 Tokifuke, the other blush, the blurring blush shade from the winter collection? They said yes, and they sent them over. So thank you, Suqqu Europe, for being so kind. Sakura Quartz is what I have now on the cheekbones. Watch out. This, look how beautifully shiny and smooth this formula is. They sent me White Opal originally, which is like the more icy, kind of glazy, translucent shade. But this with Akanozomi, get out of here. And of course, Tokifuke. I was surprised because I first saw this on Amra and I thought this would have been too cool tone, but I actually have it here on the center of my face on top of Sand Blush from Auric, and I think it's just a beautiful combination. Yes, it's cool toned, but I can't explain it. It works. It works. It's just a nice cool pink that, sure, I don't usually wear, but it's nice to play with, especially if you combine it with the other Suqqu shades, because the Suqqu color science makes it where you can combine this in any which way and you don't get muddy colors. This works phenomenally with the blurring blush. Let me get it. 103 Hakanacha. Hakanacha is more of the brown base, right? So if I put it right under, see how both of them are like kind of cool tone, but the Tokifuke on the center and the Hakanacha here on the hollows. Oh my my goodness. The Suqqu blush game this year, my gosh, has been out of control. Again, I might have to dedicate a video to just Suqqu blushes that were released towards the end of the year. In addition to their cheek tints, are you kidding me? The cheek tints that released for their summer collection, the blurring blush formula that released in their Miyabi collection for autumn, the shades that released for winter, and here are the shades that released for the holiday. It's just too much to take. I am thrilled with the Suqqu blush shades. But moving on to brushes, Bobo, thank you again so much for sending a few of her Kolinsky brushes. She was kind enough to send me these a few weeks ago. This is a special collab with Bisyodo, and they release Kolinsky brushes. I think Bobo and Bisyodo are working on, or they have already did on face brushes. Oh my goodness, face Kolinsky brushes. I know you can't handle it. Kolinsky bristle, the Kolinsky bristle is resilient with creams and liquids and fantastic with powders, but it's super soft and elastic. If you want to check out a dedicated video, I have one up, not only looking at the Bobo and Bisyodo collab, but also her Yoshiki collab, where she added a Red Canadian Squirrel. I think this is exclusively, it's either Red Canadian Squirrel and Psycho Mix eyeshadow brush. That's in addition to the eye set that released a few weeks back, or maybe a month or two back. Exceptional pencil brush. Again, if you want to see the brushes up close in action, you could check out that video. Now we gotta get into lips. The lips. Oh, what do you think I have on this? The Kulfi lip staining oil. One of the best products this year, by far. Is going to be best of video in the lip category. 100%. I will place this over the Peri Para Water Bear Tint, which is an exceptional formula. One that I am enamored with because of its lightweight quality. It's like you're applying water on your lips, but what's left behind is a beautiful stain and shine. The Kulfi lip oil stain, this is the color. This beigey kind of caramel. Oh, I know it's not as strong of a lip product. Listen, the Lisa Eldridge is in the basket. I asked Bae, I'm like, hey, early Christmas gift. So the Lisa lipsticks have not left my radar. I am just patiently waiting. I'll be back on here with all the swatches, okay? But I had to shout out the Kulfi because I think the colors that they release are just phenomenal. This is in caramel. The other is tamarind. And it's more of like a toasty, let me get it here. Look at that, like a toasty dark brown, right? In addition to the ABH Lip Velvet, and now having the Byredo Liquid Matte in Calmer. This is more of a desaturated rusty rose, but still all shades that I love to wear. I love to wear Calmer all by itself. It just livens up my complexion. It gives the complexion, my face, a sophisticated touch because of the tone. It's muted, but it's also color rich at the same time. And the doe foot is easy to maneuver around my lip. The consistency is soft and moussey. And combining the Kulfi with the Lisa Eldridge, the Sculpt and Shade Lip Pencil. Today I have on 1N with the Kulfi lip oil in caramel. I think that's a stellar combination. If I were to apply tamarind, I would apply 2N around the lip. I have like two pencils in my Lisa Eldridge basket. I wanted to match it up with Calmer or maybe the lipstick shades that I have, the new one where you can get the custom case, which I'm definitely going to get the monogram. Okay, AA all the way. Oh, and I cannot forget Sonia's Japanese garden set, kindly sent to me by Beautylish and Sonia. I have a dedicated video as well as a short looking at these brushes, but I think the trio set is edited and just right, is all you need for a complete eye look. And although the crease brush quite small, I think great for you to get nice coloring through the crease, but you can whip it around in a way that will diffuse the finish of the color, so you don't necessarily have to reach for a larger blender brush. And lastly, shout out to Van Artist Kit Company. I finally got my hands on the mini brush bag, and here is my story that I shared where when I was packing, I figured, oh, I could use this for my toiletries because I just wanted to bring the bare necessities to bay. I wasn't going to bring a lot of makeup. I just wanted to bring my Suqqu Blushes. I brought along my Bobo Chikuhodo collab brush. I put a net over it for protection, my toothbrush, my floss, and all the other things that I use, and it fit well. I know it's a brush bag, but what I loved about it was when I was at Bay's, all I did was keep it open the entire time. So I just kind of trotted around with everything I needed in this way. And I think it's just versatile in terms of its design, practical with its construction. Yes, it's fantastic for brushes. And when I go to Maddie's house, I'm gonna put all my brushes in here. I actually contemplated getting the larger brush bag but putting in makeup products because I like the fact that they can stand up. Now here's the thing, shout out to Ulta Beauty for, I think I showed this in my get ready with me video, for sending me the cosmetic case that they did alongside a $100 gift card that I haven't used yet. I know, I'm just holding back. I think this is fantastic, and the way the amount of makeup I could fit in here, I could probably put this in my away suitcase successfully. But generally, I like the makeup cases. I have a bunch. That should just be another video. That you could stand products up in rather than lay down, because I have a better time locating everything when the products are set up in that way. But I also know that you save more space by laying everything flat. So I have to revisit my makeup bags in my collection, but I just adore this one. I do. It's fantastic. It's practical. It's versatile in terms of its use, because yes, it is a makeup brush bag. That's what it's designed to hold. But look, if it can hold other things, why not experiment? You know what I mean? And I think that is it, family. Those are my favorites for November. If you haven't already seen, I have a dedicated wardrobe video that was fun to film, and I might do that for winter because we are nearing the winter season. For the most part, the pieces I think that I featured in my autumn wardrobe video will pretty much be the same, except, you know, wearing long johns under my cargo pants, and maybe showing the snow boots that I bought or any other item that I bought, because I probably bought a couple of things during this Black Friday week, 2 weeks. But those were my makeup favorites, my skincare, hair, armpit updates, my brush favorites, my brush bag, makeup bag favorites. Let me know what your favorites have been for November. I would love to know down below. And I'm filming this a day before Thanksgiving, so this probably will release after the fact. So I hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving and enjoyed a little bit of time off. Hopefully you were able to grab some. I'll definitely see you in those comments. But if you're watching this video for the first time, or maybe you're visiting me again, thank you for watching the entire thing, and maybe like this video, consider subscribing. So listen, you know how many video ideas I proposed in this one video? So that means you have to come back, click the notification bell so you are alerted of those uploads, and hopefully I'll get to see you here again soon.